Overcoming the monster, unleashing what's within. What's that all about? Today is the first day of an 11-part series that I am going to be doing, all about my story, how I got to where I am today, and the raw and real honesty about life that you can create in your life too. What am I talking about in this video? Well, I made a few notes because I didn't want to miss anything. It's about this new era that we're in. I know that I'm here to change people's lives, and in this amazing new moon energy that we are experiencing right now, I thought it was the absolute time to come and talk to you about raw, real honesty. Because when we think about raw, real honesty, and when we think about really living the life that we choose to live, living what I call your version of utopia, that's what I do. I'm not a coach, I'm not a mentor, I'm a guide. I'm a soul path guide, and I am here to help you along your soul path, should you choose to take up that gauntlet, should you choose to decide that enough is enough. So let me tell you a little bit about where my story started. So I was born into a family that were totally not spiritual, totally not woo-woo. And in my very early years, I knew that there was something far more than what we could see. Everybody around me in my family is totally plugged into the matrix. So for so many years, it was like, why did the universe put me in this spot? Because how is it that I am seriously going to change things when everyone around me is so catastrophically different to me? I don't know how I even begin on this journey. And one of the things that I've learned along that journey is that the universe gives you clues and guidance all along the way. There is a caveat to that though. It depends on how well you are tuned in and feeling. And I'm not going to say listening, because it isn't about listening. It's about the feeling inside of you and creating a truly happy, wealthy life in every sense of the word comes down to the level that you're vibrating at. And for years and years, I could not get that in a place where I was really attracting the stuff that I truly wanted. I had a really successful early part of my life. In my 20s, I could literally paper the money with walls, paper the walls with money even. I had that really beautiful, wealthy, abundant life. But there was something really missing in all of it. And the thing that was really missing in all of it is that I'd got all this stuff around me, but inside, my heart was crying. It wasn't truly happy. It wasn't satisfied. It wasn't fulfilled in any of this external stuff that was around me. Because that's exactly what it is, isn't it? It's just stuff. And I'd got so hooked into that whole era of that was what it was all about. I was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s. And in the 80s, it was all about yuppies and loads of money, and it was the rise of the entrepreneur. It was the rise of the middleman going out there and starting to seriously create something that they'd never created before. I should say also middle woman, because it was about the women too. It was the era of Margaret Thatcher. Not that I necessarily agreed with her politics. Was she an amazing leader? Absolutely. She was an amazing leader. We sidetrack, so let's come back. But this was about my journey, and I experienced so much in those years of the 80s and the 90s, and it always felt like there was something not quite there. There was something missing. Now, I call myself the creative rebel, the rebel philosopher, because I have been a rebel. I think I was a rebel when I came out of the womb. I have never, ever conformed to what society says that I should be. Well, I say never, maybe a little bit in those years, because I got caught up in the trappings of this is what it was all about. But when it comes to really conforming completely, it's not something I've ever done. So I'm in a place of complete rebirth. At the end of last year, lots of things changed for me. And this year, I say rebirth because this year is about me getting the message that I have to share out in a whole new way. Because I have an amazing gift to draw out of you what is stuck in you. And I have an amazing gift to help you shine in exactly the way that you want to. The thing was, for me to get this gift out there in the world, I had to start shining myself first, didn't I? And for so many years, things just didn't work out the way that I wanted them to. But that was because I didn't really know the inner me. This journey, this story that I'm going to tell you over the next 11 days is a story that is befitting of an absolute Hollywood blockbuster. There are so many highs and lows and so many occasions where I was so close to death that it is just crazy. I knew though all along, even in the darkest days when I sat and I sobbed, and believe me, I know what true heartbreak feels like. I really, really do. Even in those days, there was always this light, like right on the top of my phone where I'm recording this video, there's this tiny little green light. Maybe that is symbolic of me recording this video right now and saying these words, because it was a tiny little light like that that always kept me going. That every time that I got knocked down to the absolute floor and I felt like I could not get back up again, there was this tiny little light. There was something somewhere inside of me saying, Claire, you got this. You can do this. And we got you. So if you want to hear about part 2, and you want to come and hear about all 11 of the series, then click on subscribe to my channel. Share this channel, because maybe there's another woman out there like you, or a man, that needs empowering because they've had a journey which has been full of challenges, and maybe they don't believe that they can pull it out of the bag and seriously change things. Well, you know what? In my world, everything is possible. And I know that that is the reality in your world too. So I will catch you tomorrow for the next part of this series. So remember, subscribe, share, leave me a comment. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about what you are here to create in this world, because every single one of us has got a purpose. We've all got our own DNA for a very specific reason. Catch you tomorrow.